Hello. Today we are going to be discussing creating an impactful LinkedIn page, a page with valuable content, impactful content, and content that will boost your engagement. So, there are a few secrets to valuable content. First, it's got to be engaging. It's got to be attractive, right? There's got to be consistency there. Curiosity has to be piqued. Your message has to be clear, and your message also has to be a bit vulnerable. So, what does all of this mean? Now, let's look at engagement and attraction. There are two parts to engagement that are really, really important. One, we've got to be creating opportunity for engagement, and then we also have to be intentionally engaging. So, creating opportunity for engagement, what does that mean? Basically, that we are creating an opportunity in our posted content that ends with a question that really prompts someone to respond. Yes or no. Do you agree? Do you not agree? When someone's reading that, they are compelled to answer. Okay. And then are we intentionally engaging? A quote that I absolutely love is we should focus more on being interested than interesting. Once someone feels that we are interested in them, we automatically become more interesting to them, right? So are you going to your leads pages and engaging in their content? Are you looking at the profiles of your niche market and engaging with them? That is something that we should definitely be doing. Okay. Attraction. There are three things that we are looking at. One is our language bright. And that basically means and this is no offense, right? But are we using language that's interesting? Right? If we show interest, we want someone to be interested. Using language that is not your typical verbiage, right, is going to create that attention. It's also going to pique curiosity. So if we say, I wanted to know something versus I was curious to find out, that kind of ups the ante a little bit, right? So we want to make sure that we are spicing up our language and our verbiage, that it's really connecting with our niche audience, and it relays value and experiences better. Now, we're not necessarily looking for bigger words, just more colorful words, okay? Also, eye-catching photos. What do your photos look like? Are they blurry or are they clear? Are they bright? Are you using filters? Are you using presets? Those things matter. Are they very, very busy? There's a spectrum, right? They can be super plain, and the other side of that spectrum is insanely busy. We want to meet in the middle, especially depending on what we're posting, right? And then relatability. Is our content relatable to our niche or our target audience? If it has nothing to do with them, we do not want to post it. We want to post content that is only relatable to our niche. If it doesn't matter to our ideal client, we're not going to post it. Okay? So, curiosity and consistency, huge. Create anticipation. These two things actually feed off of each other. So the information could sound very, very similar. Okay. Create anticipation. Give them something to look forward to. Okay. Communicate a topic that you'll discuss on a certain day. For example, on Wednesday, we'll talk about this, right? When you are posting or when you're sharing a video and you're, making your presentation, make sure that a statement that you make leads to more questions. Like, what does that mean? Or, okay, he mentioned this. How could that benefit my business? Right? So you're dropping kind of breadcrumbs and clues that will cause someone to ask more questions and come to you for those answers. Okay, don't tell it all. We are not being secretive. We're not being shady, but we are piquing curiosity. We want to tell them what to do. We don't want to tell them how to do it. We want to tell why they would want to do something, right? But we're not going to tell them how to do that thing. That's where you come in. You're going to share that value, okay? You're going to cause them to ask questions and come to you for the answer. Also, we want to also push them to book a call, right? We want to push them or drive them. Okay, that's that language there. We want to drive them to subscribe to our email list or check out our website or visit our Calendly link. Okay. Also, we want to show up. A lot of times we can hide behind our screens. We do not want to do that. We want to be engaging. We want to show our relatability. That builds comfort, okay? And it builds knowing, which builds trust. So that means under that featured content, we want to post videos. We want to get in front of our screen and allow our niche market, our target audience to hear us. We want them to trust our voice. We want them to hear how we speak so that when we are typing up copy, they're hearing how we're talking to them as they're reading those words. That makes a huge difference. And they'll hear our tone, they'll hear our rate of speech, and that builds trust. Okay. Consistency. Be consistent and persistent. Don't post 1 week and not post the other. Don't share tips for 2 weeks and then fall off for a month. We want to make sure we are consistent and we are persistent. One way you can do that is assigning tasks to days. For example, you can do a Tip Tuesday where every Tuesday you are posting a tip, whether that be through copy and a photo or through a video, right? If you have an email list, you can send out that email every Monday, every Thursday. Just make sure you are being consistent. This consistency and the tasks, number one, it creates anticipation. If they know you are dropping a new tip on Tuesday, man, are they ready for it on Monday, right? This builds curiosity. It builds loyalty, especially if your content is absolutely valuable. If they're not hearing this from anyone else or in the way that you're presenting it, right? There's only so many different ways to present the same information. But if they connect with you and your message and they like you, you're going to create a loyal, I don't want to say a loyal visitor to your profile page, right? Who will eventually become a loyal participant and someone who engages with your content, which more likely will result in a loyal client and customer. Okay. All right. So are we clear and are we vulnerable? This matters so much when you're building like, know, and trust. Okay. Is your message clear? Are you presenting niche specific content? Okay. Again, if it has nothing to do with your niche, if it is nothing that they would be interested in, if it's nothing that they would glean value from, we don't need to post it. As cool as it might be, we're not going to post it. Okay. And then are you showing up with certainty? So this has a lot to do with how you present on your videos and how you present on social. Even if you might stumble over a word, even if you might make a mistake or you don't show up as perfectly as you would like to, if you are certain about what you're saying, that confidence will shine through. Okay. So how you use your words is important. How you posture yourself is important in both video and copy. Do you sound sure, or are you sounding a little bit like maybe I think this could be true, but I'm not really certain? Do you hear the difference? Do you see the difference even in my physical posture? It makes a mountain of a difference when you're trying to build like, know, and trust. Okay. Authority. How is your content different? Okay. How sure are you when you're presenting that content? How are you proving to know what you're talking about? That's what the featured section of LinkedIn is for. The proof is in the pudding. Show it to them. Okay. How are you talking about your content? Are you excited? Are you showing that you're passionate about this? Because that goes a long way as well. Okay. So, vulnerable. Are you showing your face? Again, we can hide behind our computers. We can come off insanely confident when we're typing words and putting up a photo. But are we being vulnerable in showing our face? Okay. And I know that a lot of us have to, be thoughtful and concerned about compliance. How can we figure out a way to show ourselves and be vulnerable and compliant at the same time? Okay. So lastly, day one efforts. What does that mean? That's something I made up that basically says, don't be afraid to be vulnerable and clear day one. Show up, do your absolute best, and I can promise you day one will not look like day 10, which will not look like day 50. Show up, be consistent, be persistent, and you will improve. We're not waiting until we feel ready or things look perfect before we show up, okay? The most important thing to remember is that in order to make an impact, you have to invest your time, invest your effort, right? Invest in building your skill sets. Okay. In order to cultivate a community and a email list that is packed with really excited potentials, in order to create a viewership on your YouTube channel or on your featured section, you got to start by creating first. Create that content. It's going to not be as good at first, but that is okay. Okay. And then take the risk to earn the reward. You are taking a huge risk by showing up on social, being vulnerable, showing up with authority and confidence. But if you do that, the reward will well be worth it. Okay. Love chatting with you guys.